What's going on? So I get all these questions in the past week or two in my office, a couple on the phone, but mostly it's been in the office. Kind of strange, but um, what is going on with the commission? Like, what's going on with this lawsuit? I hear this, I hear that. Do I have to pay any commission? Is real estate free now? I've heard it all. I've heard it all. So just kind of shooting a really fast video. I'm kind of giving some pointers of the actual facts, what's going on, who can pay commission still, what the changes are introduced. So what is all this lawsuit talk? Basically what it is a class action. It's a class action lawsuit where a plaintiff and multiple sellers, multiple homeowners, if you will, got together and sued NAR. NAR is a National Association of Realtors. Most realtors pay in dues to NAR, to National Association of Realtors. Um, it was started by a guy named Joshua Seitzer. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Joshua, bought a house. I believe the year was like 17 is when all this started, if you do the research on it. And he has a neighbor that's an attorney, and those two got together and got multiple people together and said, you know what, we hired a realtor and we were bullied into paying commission for two different agents. We only hired one. We're paid two. This is price fixing on commission. Okay, that's pretty much the way it started. He felt like the real estate agent really didn't do him right, and he felt like that he was done wrong. So that's where the lawsuit really originated from. For instance, the last 40 years, the industry has paid two sides of the transaction of a commission. The listing and one representing the buyer, all from the sale of proceeds. It is not a set in stone, like you've got to pay two agents. It's not that. Now, the issue is if a real estate firm sells 50 to 100 houses a year, you get kind of it's not really a set in stone at all. It's just kind of a normal practice, if you will. Am I going to do one house at 1% and then the next house tomorrow at 10%? No, because you've got to have some standard. You've got to have some, I want to repeat business, so I'm going to do it this way. That's just the way most of the firms are probably going to say they work. It's just like an analogy of this, totally different than real estate, but everybody gets their oil change. Well, hopefully. You can go to one of the big, the big dealerships. You can go to whoever made your car, and wait and get it scheduled and pay big money and get your oil change. You can go to somebody, that maybe does it in 20 minutes or less. You can go somebody that you like I do, that does it for a reasonable amount, and does it in a reasonable time, and I can trust it. Okay. So that industry doesn't have like, here's paperwork, you've got to do it. Everybody's going to charge the same. Just like real estate, we don't charge the same. The contracts don't have it pre-printed that it's 6%, to list a house. They've never had that pre-printed. Basically like a car again, you could change your oil in your driveway. You don't have to get your oil changed from somebody that changes oil. If you have the knowledge to do it, you can sell your own house. Is there a lot of paperwork that every for sale by owner misses? Absolutely. Does across the United States a for sale by owner sell for less money? Absolutely. You can look it up in any Google search you want. It's true. But you could do it. The lawsuit resulted in a settlement that produced $418 million paid by NAR to be paid over the next 4 years. So who's paying the settlement is NAR. Who pays into NAR? Realtors. NAR has it on their website that their dues are not going up, but eventually, that's a big hit. $418 million is a big hit. I'm assuming that in the next probably 2 to 3 years, they're going to have to do something different. This covers all firms that have sold under $2 billion of transaction volume in 2022. Make sure, are we safe on this? I'm sure we are. So the dollar amount that NAR, the association, that almost all realtors have been paying into, is paying this settlement fee. The lawsuit was for more than 418 million. This is what the settlement is. And notice, when I say $2 billion of volume, there are firms, huge conglomerate firms, that have sold over that in 22. So they're not in this lawsuit settlement. So they've got to do their own litigation with this plaintiff and a group of homeowners. They also ordered changes in their practices that took effect on August the 17th of this year, 24. Changes that were first thought to be, a killer. Everybody thought, oh, this is going to kill real estate brokerage. Let's close down. What are we going to do? We got to do something else for a career to make money to feed our family. First, all the multiple listing services, this is one of the changes. The MLS, which is entire market of home, goes into pretty much, I say the entire market, I'm sure it's in the 95% of sales. You have some estates and stuff that's sold off market. You got for sale, by owner market, of course. It does exist. It just, like I said, it does sell less. Mainly the most of the homes do go into MLS. So those buyers agents will showing homes without knowing, they're going to be showing homes without knowing what the seller is paying commission, because we can no longer have buyers agents commission in the MLS. That's the number one change. So for the last 18 years, for instance, that I've been in the business, I could show a house. I really didn't pay attention to the commission. I could always come back to the MLS sheet once I got interested and say, all right, this one pays 3%. Also, before, we had to have a working real estate agent's brochure signed. Technically. Now we have to have that and a buyer's agency agreement before we show a buyer a house. The only thing that's out of that rule is open houses. So an open house does not fall into the rules of showing houses, believe it or not. So I can have an open house, have 50 people walk through, and I do not have to have all 50. I don't have to have anybody signed that I'm representing them as a buyer. So open houses are safe. But if you hear buyers, or if you are a buyer and you say, I'm not going to go to that real estate firm because they're going to make me sign something. I just want to see these 5 houses. Or for one, you're probably not real serious anyway. And for two, the realtor is telling you the correct thing. All realtors should be telling you the exact same thing, that you do have to sign a buyer's agency agreement. NAR also states that it is okay with firms listing buyer's agent's commission on the firm's website, Facebook, whatever. You just can't have it on the MLS. So it's not against any rules at all for the seller to still pay the buyer's agent. The seller can still pay the buyer's agent commission. The buyer does not. That's not what the lawsuit is. I get that misinformation probably the most, is buyers coming in, now I got to pay y'all. Not technically. The seller can still pay. The seller can say, no, I'm not going to pay. They absolutely can. That's totally legit. A buyer can pay me commission for showing them houses. And before, I get a lot of these people, that'll say, oh, all you do is open a door and sell a house and you make all this money. I've showed people 175 houses before they bought. 175 documented houses, like legit. I still got the file to this day. It's years and years ago. So again, it's not against the seller. It's not against the rules for the seller to pay buyer's agent commission. Just want to be 100% clear on that. Make sure everybody knows that. Let me go back to the actual plaintiff that started this. Okay, so I do have a problem with this. The originator of the lawsuit, Joshua Sitzer, this guy has actually started a company that is trying to be a platform that takes a fee, gets a homeowner hooked up with a licensed realtor to list their home for a set fee. I'm not joking. Isn't that what you started the lawsuit for? On the company's website, it actually contradicts the rule change in the lawsuit he was a part of. From their company's website, it actually states the actual rule. So it says, why shouldn't I, as a question, that a buyer will probably have. It has it on their website. Why shouldn't I just try to contact the listing agent directly to schedule a tour? Question mark. And then it says, under the new 2024 laws, real estate agents are now required to have you sign a buyer representation agreement before they can let you tour a home. 100% true. Then check this out. This means you could be pressured into committing to a 3% commission, potentially costing you $15,000 on a typical $500,000 home. By using Landin, which that's the company, By using Landian, you can avoid this scenario entirely. Landian, like Landian is the best thing ever. Like we've never had any kind of brokerage to do a set fee. Landian coordinates with licensed agents. So they're using licensed agents. This is very interesting. They're not a licensed firm. They're just a platform. It actually says that on their website as well. Landian coordinates with a licensed agent who follows a strict code of ethics, ensuring ethics. They got that word. I can't believe they use the word ethics there, but ensuring you a no pressure, zero commitment tour for a super low flat fee. So the words they use on their website is flat fee. I did not see set fee anywhere. They were kind of, they were, very careful of using the terms. But again, this is a non-licensed company. So this is not a brokerage. This is not, all they're doing is linking you with an agent. This is the same thing that Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin have done for years and years and years. So all of this, what is the recap here? So the recap is our changes are, we can't have commission on the MLS. You're going to have to probably sign a buyer's agency agreement for us to show you a property, except for an open house. And the seller can still pay commission. The seller can still pay the commission. We're going to be using what's called a 220 form here at Helper Realty, and the buyer is going to have to sign off on that. In other words, even if the seller, another individual, pays that buyer's agent, the buyer has to know about it, has to sign a paper stating, "Oh, I know that this seller is paying your commission. You're representing me." That's all legal, still under the rules. A seller can still pay seller concessions, which is closing cost, and that can go towards the buyer's bucket of money, which could be buyer's agency, commission. So the buyer can pay it, or the seller can pay it. The seller can still pay it in most situations. So just want to clear that up. If you got any questions at all, contact us here at Helper Realty. We will definitely get you the answer. We've been following this very, very closely, and we're trying to get the correct, real, truth information out to those that are, interested. If you're a homeowner and you're wondering what the heck is going on with all this real estate commission talk. Y'all have a great day. See you.
I like you in your pajamas without your manners, just like you do. I like